examples 3 and 4 are examples where I have a b or a c value. So in this case, if I first think about the graph, I'm thinking about now my graph being shifted pi over 3 to the right. So it's a cosine graph that has moved pi over 3 to the right. So here's my max, and then cosine is going to look like this. And now I want to know all the places where it's a half. So somewhere in here, I'm looking for my solutions. But let's think about what it would look like if we just had cosine of theta is a half. Well, we know that cosine is a theta of a half. That's my short x value, so that gives me my tall angle. Cosine is positive in quadrant 1 and quadrant 4. So I know that my possible theta values would be pi over 3, or down here I've got my 5 pi over 3. If I think about my negative values, I've got negative pi over 3 or negative 5 pi over 3. And I could keep adding multiples of 2 pi to get further values. Since I know that this would be theta, now I want to replace my theta with x. Not with x, but with all of what was in the parentheses. So theta is the same as x minus pi over 3. So now I've got the same values. So pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, and then adding and subtracting values of 2 pi. So notice pi over 3 minus 2 pi, negative 5 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3 minus 2 pi, negative pi over 3. So solving this equation, I'm going to add pi over 3. So I'll get x is equal to 2 pi over 3, 6 pi over 3. That's, of course, going to be 2 pi. Negative pi over 3 plus pi over 3 is 0. 5 pi over 3 plus pi over 3, negative 5 pi over 3 plus pi over 3 is negative 4 pi over 3. And now I want to think about whether I'm still within my domain, and I am. 2 pi is included. I also want to think about the period for this. So my period hasn't been changed. So my period is still 2 pi. I want to know if I've missed any. So 0 plus 2 pi, of course, is 2 pi. Negative 4/3 plus 2 pi is 2 pi over 3. 2 pi over 3 plus 2 pi would be 8 pi over 3, so past my domain. 2 pi over 3 minus 2 pi gives me this one. 2 pi minus 2 pi gives me this one, but 0 minus 2 pi gives me negative 2 pi. So in the end, I actually have 6 solutions that make this equation true. And we want to make sure that we think about whether we can add solutions once we have shifted the graph.